New chapter, chapter 5, lesson 1A. We're evaluating algebraic expressions, okay? And so this is kind of more of an introductory lesson. I think that you guys will get this pretty much no problem whatsoever. Your learning target is I know how to solve simple algebraic expressions, okay? So the key concept here is to solve algebraic expressions, you need to plug the value of the variable into the equation and then simply simplify after that. So let's do a few examples. So example 1 says to evaluate 2 times n plus 4. And remember, anytime that you do not have something telling you what to do, an operation, whether it's plus, minus, divide, whatever it is, if it's not there and it's broken up by something like this, that means that we're going to be multiplying, okay? That means we're multiplying. So evaluate 2 times n plus 4 if n equals a negative 4. So we're first going to rewrite this this expression, putting in negative 4 for n. So we have negative 4 plus 4, and then we have to solve. Okay. So remember PEMDAS. PEMDAS says do everything inside the parentheses first. So we have negative 4 plus 4. We know that's just going to be 0. That's the additive. The additive inverse of negative 4 is 4, so that's just going to be 0. So we have 2 times 0, and we know anything times 0 is going to be 0. So our answer is 0. Okay, let's do example 2. Okay, example 2 is a little bit trickier because it throws in this exponent, but it's nothing that we can't do. So we need to evaluate 4x to the third plus 2 times n minus 6 if n equals negative 4 and x equals 2. So again, let's rewrite this problem. We have 4 times 2, because x equals 2 to the third, plus 2 times n is negative 4, so negative 4 minus 6. Okay, so remember we do everything inside the parentheses first. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this now. We have 4 times 2 squared plus 2 times negative 4 minus 6 is a negative 10. Okay, now we have to do, after parentheses, we have to do the exponents. So we're going to rewrite this, and we're going to do 2 to the third. So 4 times 2 to the third, which you guys all know, I'm going to rewrite this over here. 2 to the third is just equal to 2 times 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. So we have 4 times 8 plus 2 times a negative 10. Okay, so now we've done, remember PEMDAS is parentheses, exponents, and then multiply and divide. So what we can multiply here, and there's 2 sets that we can multiply. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 2 times negative 10 is a negative 20. And then we have addition. The last part of PEMDAS is the add, subtract. Okay, so 32 plus a negative 20. If we could do this on a number line, or we could just solve 32 plus negative 20, we know that's just 32 minus 20, which is just going to equal 12. Okay, so 4x cubed plus 2 times n minus 6 if n equals negative 4 and x equals 2 is 12. Okay, example 3. It says to find the recommended minimum training heart rate for a person is dependent on their age. Okay, when we train, we're supposed to have a target heart rate to keep it's pretty much to say that we're working at a specific level, and that's where we need to be. So we use the formula 3 times 220 minus a, we're divided by 5, where a is the age of the person. So we need to find the minimum training heart for a 13-year-old. Okay, so we have 3 times 220 minus, remember we're using 13-year-olds, so we're going to plug in 13 here, all divided by 5. Okay, so remember we have to do the parentheses first. 220 minus 13 is just going to be 207. So 3 times 207 divided by 5. Okay, now we can multiply. We don't have any exponents, so now we can just multiply. And 3 times 207, I'm going to do the work over here, because I don't know what 207 times 3 is. Miswrote that a little bit. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 0 is 0, plus the 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So we get 621 over 5. Okay, and now this is just dividing. We have a fraction here, and we know that to solve this type of a problem, we just have to take the numerator and divide by the denominator. So I have 621 divided by 5. 5 goes into 6 once. Get 1 left over, bring down the 12. 5 goes into 12 twice, which is 10. And get 21 left over. 5 goes into 21 4 times. We'll have 20. Bring down, we get 10 left over. That goes in, but we had to add a 0, so we have to put in that decimal. And 5 goes into 10 twice. So the target heart rate for a 13-year-old is 124.2, and that'll be beats per minute. So we can label that beats per minute. Happy days, happy days, happy days. Peace.